Good evening, everyone. I don't care where you are in the world.
It's now evening. Yeah.
Welcome to Esoterica, and today James is injured.
I am. I'm very injured. So if I seem a little bit out of it today,
It's just James.
Yes, or wince in pain, it's probably not because of the content. It's probably because I'm injured.
No
so many
promises,
painkillers.
though.
Yeah. No promises. No promises.
We here at Esoterica wish James a quick and speedy recovery.
Thanks.
The flowers are on their way.
Yeah, thank you. I'll appreciate those. I'll put them in my dressing room, and they'll remind me.
That was
your
by
best
the way,
wishes every time.
That was a flex about him currently being in a show.
That was a flex. Weird flex, bro.
Really weird flex.
Yeah,
But he's currently in the show The 39 Steps.
That's right. Yes, I only do 38 of them.
Lazy.
You could say I carry 38 of those steps. The ninth one, well, that's just down to chance. So what are we drinking today?
We are drinking Boundary Road.
We are Boundary Road Brewery Mumbo Jumbo India Pale Ale.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about the Boundary Road?
Well, at first I was sort of unsure, but that's partly because I'm an idiot. So
First, I was afraid, I was petrified.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You're channeling my inner thoughts. So I took a sip of it and I thought, wow, this is really bitter for a pale ale. And,
you could say confronting.
Well, you could say confronting, but I won't. And I thought, wow, this is really bitter for a pale ale. It's almost more like an IPA. And then about 30 seconds later, it dawned on me that that's what India Pale Ale stands for, and that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about ever, which is pretty on brand for us here at Esoterica. So as far as pale ales go, not very good. As far as India Pale Ales go, or IPAs, as you may know them, all right. Like it's grown on me. I didn't really like it at first, but I'm starting to enjoy it.
No, I'm a bit the same. It's quite hoppy.
Yeah,
I mean, admittedly, it says that on the box. It's not like it's a surprise. It's quite hoppy, and you and I aren't hugely into very, very hoppy beers.
No,
but
yeah.
If you do like a strongly hoppy IPA, then I would suggest this. So on the only scale that matters, Anthony, what are you giving the Boundary Road IPA, the Mumbo Jumbo?
I'm thinking about a 6.
About a 6?
Yeah, about a 6.
Yeah. I'd go about a 5. I think.
Yeah,
About a 5.
Yeah, I was thinking 5.56.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
But I mean, that's just our taste.
That's
You
just
know,
our taste.
if
So-
you like that kind of thing, you'll probably enjoy it.
Good
much
beer.
more.
Thank you, Boundary
Yeah,
Road.
thank you, Boundary.
Okay, so moving into what's on top and what we're going to talk about today. So, obviously there was no podcast from us last week because of everything that happened here in New Zealand, down in Christchurch, and hopefully you had an opportunity to listen to the statement that we sort of put out last week on the day. And we just wanted to sort of touch very briefly on it. We're not going to talk hugely about it. We're not going to go into it because there are lots of people doing that. There are lots of people talking about that sort of stuff, and we probably can't contribute anything incredibly meaningful to the conversation.
Yeah, well said.
So we're not going to. Other than to say how immensely proud we have been in the way that of the way that the New Zealand government has responded, and I have to say that's not just the Labour Party. That's across the board. Like these semi-automatic gun ban and things like that went through almost unanimously. The way that the New Zealand politicians in general have reacted to this has been phenomenal, led of course by Jacinda Ardern, who has been absolutely phenomenal through this whole process. A prime example of somebody who is compassionate and has a strong sense of moral conscience. So we didn't really want to say anything, I don't think, about this.
No, I don't think so. I think I had a lot of when things like this happen, everyone has quite strong visceral reactions, obviously, and very understandably. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to say I'm glad that the media have sort of changed tack ever since Dern came out and said that she wasn't going to speak. Let the killer's name pass her lips.
Yep.
Because I was initially incredibly disappointed with how the news was reported by TVNZ and News Hub. And credit where credit's due. We obviously, if you listen to the podcast fairly regularly, would know that we can quite often be quite critical of stuff. And I would like to say, credit where credit's due, their reporting was fantastic.
Yeah.
And they avoided a lot of the traps that TVNZ and News Hub had. For example, TVNZ said the killer's name immediately after being told by a security expert not to, and that's one of the worst things you can do, because of course you, at least to a cult of personality, and they did anyway. News Hub said that we're not going to talk about or post the killer's manifesto, and then proceeded to post excerpts from the manifesto.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is worth criticising, and we do need to hold the media accountable. But on the flip side of that, well done stuff. I thought, their coverage was fantastic. So that's really all I want to say because, after it has changed, the media have sort of changed tack since. And thank you to Dern for sort of stepping up and doing that, really.
I think the only other thing, and some of the really great conversations that I've heard this week, so a couple of things to remember. While this is a tragedy, it's not a one-off tragedy, and what I mean by that is that for those families, the families of the victims, friends of the victims, and that sort of stuff, this is something that will affect them, families and things for the rest of their lives. So it's great, and the support of people has been amazing, but we need to remember that it doesn't just last a week.
No,
it lasts the entire lives for some of these people. So they will need continual support from their communities and from the people around them. The other thing that I've been really pleased about in terms of conversations is I've heard a lot of conversations in classrooms this week, for example, or around the place about something that I think is really important, and that's to acknowledge, not to turn a blind eye to this and go, just categorically that's not us, because it is. We have all participated in off-color jokes or saying things, for often humorous reactions, or I'd like to think often humorous reactions that are, homophobic, racist, transphobic, whatever you like. And so some of the really great conversations that I've heard around have been like, actually, maybe we need a mental shift, and we need to go, you know what? Whenever we hear those conversations, and we've all been part of those, we've all been. I mean, I know I have had, been in conversations with people where people have said things, and you've gone, "Ooh, Jesus, that's a bit."
Absolutely,
that's a bit. And we don't tend to say anything, out of kind of social grace or whatever. We kind of don't tend to say anything. And so what I've heard people, or, teachers saying to students or whatever is actually maybe it's time that we turn around and go, actually, you know what, that's not right. I don't, and we can do that in a number of ways. We can use I statements. Look, what you said, I feel offended by what you've just said. Or, questioning by turning around and saying, do you really think that? Is that really something you think?
Because when you tend to, it's when these jokes or statements, and sometimes they're not jokes.
That's right.
When you tend to call people out on them, it forces them to justify what they've just said, and then that's when hopefully a little bit of introspection happens. And
so maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to be people that don't actually just stand by and
Yeah.
allow those things to be said, but turn around and go, you know what, I'm not so comfortable with that.
None of this happens in a vacuum.
That's right. And so, and if we can all do that, then I think we will have a very positive shift in culture. I think,
Definitely.
which would be good. But I mean, that's really all we wanted to say about this. We're not going to dwell on it. So
it obviously goes without saying. Our thoughts and love go out to the people of Christchurch and to the Muslim community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's
and all the people affected by this.
Absolutely.
Please remember too that again, if you need someone to talk to, or you feel that you need some support, please remember that free call or text number is 1737. That's 1737. About whatever. Nothing's too small. Anything. If you feel you've been affected in any way by this and need someone to talk to, 1737.
You're not weak if you want help.
Absolutely. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Moving right along to now we were sort of thinking really hard about what we were going to talk about today, and because obviously we have to acknowledge everything else, and we wanted to sort of keep things a little bit light, which kind of it made us feel that a couple of things that we had to talk about, maybe now's not the best time. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about them later on.
Yeah.
But maybe this week's not the best time, because we all need a bit of a laugh, and we all need a bit of fun. So Anthony and I have been sitting here talking about this in terms of what we were going to talk about, and what we know you all join into Esoterica for is to hear our fun but hilarious rants. So we thought that today, for What's on Top, we'd talk about three things each, that really wind us up, but not massive things. So not like somebody cheated on me, that winds me up. Like we're talking about like three things that other people would be like, doesn't really bother me, but three things that really wind you up, irrationally wind you up. And so, Anthony, I'm going to give you number one. What is your number one thing?
First of all, I just want to say it's not irrational. It's completely rational and justified. I've every reason to find these things infuriating.
Yes.
This one actually just occurred to me when I was writing down some 30-second waffles for James. And it's when you're writing with a pen and the pen doesn't work. The pen just decides, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to disperse ink onto this piece of paper. So you end up with that slight indentation, and then you get a little bit of ink every now and then that comes out. So you got to rewrite over that indentation, and it doesn't work, or only a little bit of ink comes out, and it starts looking really messy. And you keep doing this, and it's really irritating. And then you go to scribble on another piece of paper, right? You do the thing where you scribble on another piece of paper, and oh, yep, the ink's running again. You go back to your piece of paper, and then it doesn't work. How much of our lives have we spent doing that? How much time has been wasted? How many great technological advancements have been stopped simply because of the accumulative mass
the progression of the human race has been halted by
pen design?
Yeah.
It's upsetting, and I hate it with a passion. It's so frustrating. I find it so frustrating. It's so stupid. I mean, look, we have these supercomputers that can calculate infinite math calculations, and we know pi to the nth degree now, and things. We cannot make good pens at a cost-effective price.
There's a wonderful story, right, about now whether this story is true or not, I don't know, but it's certainly one of those legends that goes around, if you know what I mean. That NASA in their space program, when they were looking at sending people to space, spent millions of dollars.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Developing a pen that could write in space. The Russians used a pencil.
Yeah, I think it's actually true. It's amazing. It's amazing. But I think that's actually true.
So I'm going to buy you some pencils, I think, for Christmas.
Well,
That's
no,
that's going to
because-
be your exciting Christmas present from me.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's not say some. Let's say a pencil.
A pencil. It's very generous of
Just
you.
one pencil.
2B?
Won't even be a good one.
2B pencil.
I don't know if I'm going to fork out for the 2B.
Too high grade.
You might only just get 1B. I don't even know if that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Is it a 1B pencil? Is it lighter or darker than a 2B pencil?
I think it's to do with the size of the lead inside it.
Yeah.
It's the shape and size. Yeah,
It's the size of your lead that counts.
it is.
Okay. So my first
What's
one.
yours? What's yours,
My first
James?
one, and I think I have. No, actually, before we move on, the only scale that matters. Go on. Give us your of how much irritation this causes you.
8. Solid 8. It's annoying.
So
James.
so
I
eight
hate
being
I
like what?
hate
That's you will
It's
almost have an actual
infuriating.
tantrum whenever this happens.
I'm trying to write a sentence, and I
Share my wisdom with the world.
not necessarily, but I just why is that really where we end? Have pens come to their zenith of how advanced they are? Do we just accept this now? We just accept that writing with pens is excruciating.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
annoying.
I'm with you.
It's terrible.
All right, my first one, and I may have mentioned this before. On in passing on the podcast, but it really winds me up. Menus at drive-thrus. Menus at drive-thrus.
Yeah.
I hate them. I hate new menus in not even just in drive-thrus. Like when you actually go into a McDonald's or you go into like a Burger King or whatever else like that. Now I'm not a frequenter of Burger King. Like I'm not somebody. No, I'm not.
you're not.
Like
You're a
I
McDonald's
go
man.
every now and then, but like so I'm not well enough acquainted with their menu that I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I'll have that, and that. And they've started doing it in store now as well, where they'll have like LED screens or whatever they are, right?
Yep,
and
I know where
they'll
you're going with
roll
this.
through like
Yes.
the African fish burger of the week or whatever
Yeah.
the hell they're
Yeah.
doing. And I'm like, I don't want your African fish burger. Like, you know, I want to know what you have on your menu.
Yeah.
Just give me your menu.
Give me a list.
Broken down into like, meat burgers, vegetarian burgers,
Yeah.
fish burgers, chicken burgers, what in some kind of logical format that I can look at and within 2 minutes can go, oh yeah, I'll have that, and that. But you can't do that.
No.
Because you walk in and you just get adverts for the African fish burger for the next 20 minutes. And then you've got to wait for it to roll round onto the next thing to find out what they have.
There's
and
like
then
a little
the next thing,
animation of the lettuce falling
yeah,
on the bread.
and then there'll be like,
oh.
then the next thing will be like a caramel sundae. I'm like, no, I don't want a sundae. I want a burger.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I just want to know what burgers you have.
I'm 100% with you
And
on this.
it drives me wild, and especially whenever you're like in a drive-through situation and you're going there before a show or whatever, it's or after show, it's like 10-11 o'clock at night. For some reason, that seems to be the time when every man and his dog decides to get like drive-through, and so you're stuck in a drive-through and you're between all these people, and you get up there and you feel the time pressure of ordering.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh god, I've got to like work out what it is that I'm having like immediately. And there it is, the bloody African fish burger. And I've had enough. Like honestly, that thing is haunting me.
Do you know what?
I am so like it actually it irritates.
Do you want to know something that stresses me out? It stresses me out, and it's perfectly acceptable to a point, but there's something that producer Caroline does every time we pull up to a drive-through. She says, oh, it's okay, just looking. Like, and they're like, on the other end, they're like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. And then I feel it, the pressure starts compressing on
build.
it because
Yep.
they're waiting, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
Caroline's
yeah.
looking,
Just waiting for
she's
you.
looking what to order,
Yeah.
and I'm just thinking, we've been in line for quite a while. Like,
Yeah.
we've been behind this other car for quite a while. Like,
Yeah.
what were you thinking of before?
See, that's quite brave because I wouldn't have the guts to do that. I wouldn't be like, no, just having a look, thanks.
No,
I
the
wouldn't be able to do that.
the world should wait.
That's amazing. That's pretty
It's
good.
stressful. But on the note of those menus, I 100% agree. A menu is a utility, okay?
Yes.
It's not an excuse for your design agency up in Palo Alto to show off some video graphics.
Oh,
It's a utility first and foremost. Yes, it can be phenomenally well designed, but that is secondary to it being utility. And the utility is
Can I access
menu.
everything on your menu
100%.
within
100%.
15 seconds? So within me looking at the board, I can go, that's everything you have on the menu that I'm able to order.
Absolutely.
Because it's fast food, right? And this is the other thing that drives me wild. It's fast food. I want to be in the drive-through, out of the drive-through, in preferably about 5 minutes with whatever it is that I'm wanting to order. I don't want to faff around with your ordering system. I don't want to faff around with your menu.
Your menu is not a Facebook video advertisement.
No.
You have already captured the customer.
Yeah.
The customer is already there. You don't have to sell them on your food.
No.
I mean, yes, I know, I get it. Like, they're trying to upsell to those bigger burgers, like the American
it's
monster
great.
truck
But this is
burger or
the
whatever.
other
But,
thing.
like...
But this is the other thing. Okay, no, I won't save it for the second one. That's the other thing. Is how are we not able to sue fast food companies for the way their burgers look in advertising?
Because
we all just accept.
There's a little star. There's a little tiny star down the bottom and very small.
It's not absolutely
compressed.
not representative of the actual product.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why they're allowed to do that. Anybody else, it doesn't matter. Like, if I had, like, a Volvo station wagon, and in my adverts, I put, a Lamborghini Testarossa in there, and I was like, not indicative of the actual product that you're going to purchase. It's bollocks. I don't understand how they can get away with it, how they can get away with it, and we all just accept it. We all go, oh, we know it's not going to look like that when it comes out. It's going to look like some kind of, rehydrated, space food that's been, like, heated and thrown into a box. It's not going to look like that.
I want my burger to have the little plastic sliders that you put in those photos between each ingredient.
Oh, no, I want your advertising to actually look like the burger I'm going to get. So I want it, if I look up there, I want to see my cheeseburger with its shitty patty and buns and cheese half hanging out the side of it. If that's what your cheeseburger looks like, just go,
own it.
That's what our cheeseburger looks like.
Just show what it's going to look like and own it. Just be like, yeah, you're buying a piece of shit. Here it is.
Yeah, here it is.
Just own it.
Here's the piece of shit.
Just own it.
I reckon we should be able to. I reckon that's one place that we should crack down on them
Civil
and go,
lawsuit.
actually, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to advertise like that. You have to advertise what you are actually selling. So if you want to put pictures of your burgers up there, it has to be an actual picture of one of your production line burgers, not some paste recreation in a studio somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway,
100%.
That's me. Only scale that matters, about a 9. It really, I will swear and hit the freaking steering wheel. It really, it winds me up.
I feel you.
Right. Okay. Number 2, Anthony. What are you up for number 2?
I think everyone can relate to this. It happened to me this morning, actually, because we had run out of coffee. Which
explains so much.
Yes, it does. And so I made a special trip to the supermarket for just to get coffee, so that we would have, albeit instant coffee, but it was coffee nonetheless. So because I actually had 2 items. Got a little thing for breakfast as well, but that's neither here nor there. But I had 2 items.
Yes.
Great. I can go to the self checkout because that's 12 items or fewer.
Yes. Not less.
Not less.
Yeah.
Pack and save.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is great. No one, everyone knows this rule. Of course, the person in front of me with their trolley full to the brim with groceries. I just think that's a hate crime. That is unbelievable. Like, it's just so selfish.
And supermarkets are frustrating places in their own right. Like, you don't want to spend you want to spend as little time in a supermarket as possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, I mean, supermarkets they're an absolute, oh my goodness, they're a goldmine for things that infuriate you. People who sort of wander around aimlessly with their trolleys,
park their trolley in the middle of the
aisle, and you try to get around, and they're just sort of looking around like a bloody zombie because they're like, must consume all these products. Which product am I going to consume? And they stand there and just sort of zombified, and they're in the way. Obnoxious. I hate it.
My goal with the supermarket is to get in and out as quickly as possible.
Agreed. Yeah.
I hate supermarkets.
So do I.
Hate them.
Awful.
Awful. But people with more than 12 items in the 12 items or fewer line.
Oh, that winds me up. It's just this sort of, I don't care. This entitlement.
That's a serious tut coming out, like, in the line. Yeah. You'd
Oh,
never say anything, but it's a serious
no.
tut.
Yeah.
Right, only scale it matters. Go on.
9. Yeah, no, it annoys me because the amount of like you have to be a special kind of person. You have to be fairly arrogant. There are plenty of checkout queues free. Well, not free, but you know what I mean.
Right.
That are designed for that.
Nobody's ever in checkouts.
No, they're not anymore.
Nobody's ever in checkout.
No.
I know this is jumping onto your irritation thing, but nobody's ever in checkout. You go to a pack and save, right?
Yeah.
And there's like 30 checkouts.
Yeah.
None of them are manned.
Yeah. Same with Countdown. Countdown's the worst.
They're trying to funnel people through the self-checkout thing and everything else like that. And you know, there's lines of people.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll open a checkout. And you've got 30 checkout, but nobody on checkout.
Countdown's the same, and you'll have this is starting to get a bit, but there'll plenty of staff. One checkout open.
Yep.
20 people in the queue.
Yep.
What is going on? What is going on? Like,
it drives me insane.
Same.
It's
It's because they've already cashed the. I assume they've already cashed the registers, and they can't be bothered.
But the other thing that gets me, right, is that like the self checkout system on its own gets me, because I'm like, okay, now you want me to come to the checkout, and now you want me to do your job for you.
That's right.
You want me to check my own groceries out.
Yeah.
It drives me wild.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm with you.
I get irritated every time I have to go through a self checkout and be like, okay, here I am for my 2 minutes today. I'm working for New World, like, you know, wherever I'm buying my groceries.
Please take your items. Please take your items. Please take your
Unexpected
items.
item
I'm
in the
getting
bag
there,
again.
lady.
Yeah. As soon as the payment's gone through. Yeah.
We have your money now. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Take
I
your
hate it.
items and leave.
Yeah. You finished your work, your shift for today.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2 for me. Smoking. And this is going to sound like a really weird thing to say. I used to be a smoker. You used to be a smoker.
Yes. Yeah.
People who tell you to give things up, especially when you're somebody like a smoker, when they tell you to give things up because it's bad for you. Jesus, really? No shit, Sherlock. This is what always cracks me up, right, about smoking advertising, is they're always like, smoking damages you and everything else. You will not meet a smoker who does not know that smoking is bad for them. Yeah. Not a single smoker. There is no smoker out there that's going, oh, really? I thought it boosted my athletic ability.
Exactly.
Like, people are so aware of this that I don't know why they keep plugging down the same track of, smoking's bad for you. It'll, you know, of course it's bad for you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've got Sharon who comes and tells you that, did you realize that that's bad for you? You really should give up. Sure, Sharon, I'll just, pack it away. Now that you've told me, I've just been waiting for, somebody to come and tell me that I need to give up smoking, because that's all I needed was that one. No!
It's always the same people who will go and smash alcohol on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad for you, they say after they've had half a bottle of gin.
Yeah.
They're on the way to more.
In the line for BK.
Yeah.
Do you realise that smoking's bad for you? Yeah. Do you realise that eating frickin' BK's bad for you?
Yeah, exactly.
It
stunning.
used to drive me nuts. It really used to drive me nuts. And there is nothing worse, I found, there's nothing worse than a reformed smoker. There's nothing worse than somebody who's given up smoking.
Yeah.
Because they will sit there and go,
Get the holier than thou.
It's like, and I managed to give up. You really should. I feel so much better for. Oh, piss off!
Yeah.
Just trying to have my cigarette in peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Piss off.
Yeah. I smoke because of people like you.
Yes. I'm gonna have another one.
Yeah.
Right in your face.
Dedicating it to you.
It irritates me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not.
I'm with you on that.
I'm not a smoker anymore.
No.
And I try very hard not to be that person that goes, no, screw you.
No.
If you want to smoke, go nuts. If you want to,
I think it's usually from people who have never had an addiction like that before. So, of course, if you have
says,
had it...
Sharon cramming down her 4th piece of cake this morning,
that's right.
Who tells you that smoking's bad for you.
That's right. But it's, I think, in terms
or Darren, we're not sexist here.
That's
Darren
true.
could
That's
be
true.
obese as well.
That's
Forcing
true.
down, yeah. So,
That's true.
yeah.
But it's, I think it's, yeah, it's definitely a thing where until you've had an addiction like that, you don't know what it's sort of.
Yeah, but also, whenever I was a smoker, I was, or I like to think, I was relatively polite about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if other people were there who weren't smokers, I was really careful about not, having smoke blowing at them, or those kinds of things, or always tried to make it so that I didn't smell of smoke all the time, or so I was really conscious of other people, or like even if, like, for example, you were sitting outside at a table at a restaurant that was a smoking area and there were other people around you who weren't smokers, like I was always very conscious of that
Absolutely.
kind of thing. Like, so I was very I understand that that it was it was a thing that I was doing and that was fine. I was trying my best not to harm other people or annoy other people, but it just annoys me when those same people come over to go, do you realize that smoking's bad for you? You should give up. Oh, well, thanks, Darren. Or I'll take that. It's like that. It's like that thing. And I'm gonna pinch it off the of Twitter, but it's exactly the same thing as whenever you're walking through a door that says pull and somebody says, oh, I think you need to push it. Oh yeah, sure, because my next freaking option was to lift it from the bottom. yeah. Thanks for that. That was never freaking worked that one out.
No.
Yeah.
Doors are actually a huge. Sorry, going on a tangent, but doors are poorly designed. So the reason this happens is because quite often doors will have a flat panel. Now, it's not universal about whether you push or pull that. You will see doors that are meant to be pushed that have handles facing towards you.
Yes.
That is poor design. It's not necessarily because you're stupid. It's because it's a poorly designed door. If it has handles, it's pull. If it has a flat surface, that's push.
So what you're saying is we need a ministry of doors.
Caroline's like, wrap this up.
Yeah,
we
need a ministry of of doors in the government. The government that standardizes door construction.
This is why design is important, because it can make you look stupid if it's bad.
Yeah. We are the grumpiest old men on the planet, aren't we?
We are. We're yelling at clouds all the time.
Yes. Okay. All right. Number three. I'm gonna have to think about number three.
Number three. It's a long list. Let's narrow it down. When people say that freedom of speech, I'm entitled to my opinion. Okay, yes. First of all, freedom of speech laws aren't the same in New Zealand as they are in the United States of America.
No.
And also, by the way, freedom of speech laws protect you from the government.
Protect you from being persecuted
by the government. Yeah. They do not protect you from being called out. So, for example, like, you can say whatever you like. That doesn't protect you from being called out.
Doesn't it protect you from somebody else turning around and saying, actually, you're an asshole.
And usually, it's anyone who tends to say freedom of speech tends to be a bit of a dick. Sorry, calling out all those people say, well, it's freedom of speech. If you have to say that, it's probably because you're being an asshole.
But the other thing is too, you have freedom of speech. I don't have to give you a platform in which to do it.
No, that's right. And that's exactly right. I mean, because what people have to remember as well, people say this all the time on things like Facebook. Okay, well, when you post on Facebook, you're posting on a platform and a private company, and their rules apply. Facebook can do whatever they like.
Yep.
It's actually not protected by the government. So Facebook can, if they like, choose not to post your content. It's like, unfortunately, the same is true for YouTube, which is what has caused problems. It's a private company, and they can enact whatever rules they like. So they can choose not to post your content, or let you post it, or endorse it.
Yeah, but if I, like, for example, if I run a theatre in the same way that I run, or we run a podcast, like, I don't have to give you a platform for you to say things that I think are horrific. Like, I don't have to sit there and go, actually, you know what, in the interest of balanced journalism, we should get the local white supremacists down to... No, I don't. I think your views are abhorrent. I reject categorically everything that you are, and I think that you're a muppet. So no, I'm not going to give you a platform to do it. And your freedom of speech doesn't actually guarantee you access to that.
No, it doesn't. No, that's, yeah. But, So, but honestly, it's one of those calling like card things where the moment someone talks about their freedom of speech, it's probably because they're saying something pretty shitty.
Yep. And then they get really upset.
When you call them out. It's like, well, sorry, it's also my freedom of speech to call out your freedom of speech. I have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And then you end up going in circles.
Yeah.
And then you just give up because you realize that you can't reason with some people.
No.
Freedom of speech.
No. I'm also going to slightly jump on that bandwagon.
It's a 10, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an absolute 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon and say the other one that annoys me is when you get people who post things on Facebook who copy and paste that post, they'd be like, from tomorrow, Facebook can use all of your photos and things like that for whatever they want. I categorically reject this, and I tell you, Facebook, you have no rights to do this. Yes, they do. It's in your terms and conditions. This is like, you can't just copy and paste something to your wall that's like, actually, I deny you all the rights under your terms of service to use your product. Anything you put on there, they have absolute rights.
Delete Facebook.
Yeah, anything you put on there.
It's a product that you are leasing. Like, you don't have to use Facebook. You don't have to use it. And look, if you disagree with it on that level, delete it.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to. I encourage you to. If you don't like it, delete it, because you're being exploited anyway. Facebook's exploiting everyone.
Anytime, and this is what I try to get across to people, anytime a product like that is free,
you're the product.
Free because you are the product.
Yeah.
So,
looking at you, Google and Gmail.
But I mean, for God's sake, I just love that people think that for some reason that them posting like some very vague legalese kind of sounding thing to their thing is going to to their page is going to stop Facebook from, they're going to all of a sudden going to be like, there's another one gone. Yeah. Can't use their information.
Yeah. Just tick them off the list.
For God's sake,
Instagram had this problem a while back when it was made made public. It became viral on social media about the fact that Instagram owned the content of your photos that you're uploading. That had been the case since Instagram had launched. Yep. It's just that it became a big thing because someone had finally sort of pointed out, hey, Instagram have the rights to all your photos that you upload here. And it's like, well, that had been the case for a long time. It was, of course. Once again, you're the product. Gmail.
Yep.
Every Google service, actually. Google services are free because you're the product. Yep. They're harvesting your data and just, I don't know, of all the things to be outraged about, people getting outraged about, like, Cassandra, Facebook don't want to use those photos of you at your hen's party. No. They don't care. Why are you so worried about them using your data? No one cares. They don't care.
No.
And if you're worried about it, delete your Facebook.
Okay, we're gonna
wrap.
Final one.
Oh yes, you need
final one from me. It's actually segues quite nicely from what we've just talked about. There are many things. Anybody who's ever spent more than 10 minutes with me knows that there are many things that irritate me and irritate me greatly.
It's true.
However, here is my ultimate irritation.
Oh.
Ultimate irritation. If you are somebody on social media who posts a picture of your food or an inspirational quote, automatically unfriended. Like, it drives me insane. I don't want to see what you had for dinner. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. When you're sitting there going, here's some, beans I whipped up this. Who cares? Who cares about your beans? I don't care about your beans. I wake up in the morning to get a notification that Johnny has posted a picture of his beans and 8 people like this picture, and it keeps popping up on my notifications going, Anthony has now liked Johnny's picture of his beans.
Don't bring me into this. Don't bring me into this.
It drives me absolutely spare.
The exception is if you're a chef.
Well, yes, okay, yes, no,
That's the exception.
I will wear that and say, if you are a chef and it is your product that you are putting out there and you're like, truly something that I've come up with and it's amazing, that's great. I don't want to see your meal at a restaurant. No. I don't want to see your meal at home.
It's raw.
It's a meal. I have no desire to look at it. No. None. The same thing with freaking inspirational quotes.
Oh, they're the worst.
And inspirational quotes.
They take the cake.
That you just get like tiled up on some standardized background.
It's like a waterfall.
But
it's
not
muted
even that,
colours,
or like a
or
freaking
like
minion in the corner,
or
like,
a sunset.
a sunset, or whatever
like,
the freak it is. And it's generally some absolute twaddle that that's been put out there by some 2-bit,
Alan
positivity
kind of thing.
freaking coach.
Yeah.
And
what is a positivity coach?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you need to be a positivity coach? I feel like you need to be a sociopath because
giant-
no one is that happy all of the time.
A giant ego and a really poor taste in words. And I just sit there and I go,
it's very negative of you. You need a positivity coach.
Oh, I'd break any positivity coach you sent to me. Seriously, and you read it and you go, it's not even good English. No. It's not even not only am I not motivated by this, I'm actually now actively irritated.
Caroline, can I please have my cell phone?
Oh my god. I'm now actively irritated by the stupidity and the poor grammar or English of this statement. It drives me. It drives me insane. This worries me. What are you doing?
Okay, we're gonna.
Are you trying to find one?
No. There's a subreddit called Get Motivated.
Oh, for God's sake!
Okay, guys, I'm gonna read. Here we go. Get motivated. I'm gonna read some of these quotes, and you're gonna rate them out of 10.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
Okay, here we go. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit.
Oh, fuck off. Do you know why I get tired? I get tired because I do shit with my life, right? And I go out there and I don't get enough sleep. I don't need to learn to rest and to get... No, what I need is some more sleep. That's a good sleep. 9 out of 10 irritation.
No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Socrates, 469 to 399 BC.
Piss off!
And
that sounds like something some gym bunny would have a tattooed to themselves, being like, I need to get bigger, because no, for God's sake, grow your mind. It's far better.
Wow, now that I've read that, I'm totally going to go and get
totally going to go and work out.
Get jacked. That's all I need. Don't let the fear of being labelled or judged stop you from doing what you want to do. There is a prerogative term for everything that you can possibly do, to the point where you will be enslaved by fear of judgment if you don't forge ahead.
Jesus Christ, how long is that freaking quote?
No.
What? Don't let others stop you from doing what you want to do. Gee, there's a freaking inspirational quote for you. Never thought of that one, Sharon. Now that you've told me, yeah. What was that one I just saw before?
Time's up, let's do this.
What was that one I just saw before? Ego is the enemy. Oh, piss off. Piss off. This is actually the problem that we have, is that people don't feed enough into their ego in a positive way.
That's right.
But ego can be a positive thing. It's just become a negative pejorative term. Ego can be a positive thing. They're all bad. Stop posting that stuff on your Facebook page. It does not make you look erudite. It does not make you look intelligent. If it means something to you, cool. Subscribe to your daily mindfulness thing comes to your whatever. That's fine.
Keep it on Tumblr.
Don't send it to me.
Keep it on Tumblr.
Don't send it to me. I don't care.
We're done. We're 10 out of 10 done.
10 out of 10 irritated. Done. Right, okay. Moving on. And unfreeze. Sorry, we're just taking the piss here a little bit. And this is because every time we break, for those of you that are listening to this in an audio format, you won't quite understand this, but every time we take a break or we have to cut, producer Caroline has told us off because it makes it really difficult for her to edit, because we just go straight into what we're doing. So we've been told that we have to freeze. And being, the really responsible people we are, we decided to take the piss out of that, and
Yeah.
Now you get a giant freeze. Right, okay, so Uncanny Valley. I found an interesting article this week for Uncanny Valley, and I'll be interested to hear what you think of it.
Okay.
Because it's a bit uncanny. I wouldn't say it's the most uncanny thing. It's certainly no man shoots off his penis, or man drinks his own urine to live for 100 years. It's a little bit more serious.
What is it with men?
I know. Yeah, we're really dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. So The title of this article is Vegan Blogger Accused of Being Fake After Secret Restaurant Video Emerges. So a vegan blogger has been criticised after she chose to eat fish at a restaurant. Giovanna Mendoza Arias, 28, a vegan, fitness and lifestyle blogger who produces content. Yeah, I know. Everything we all love. Everything we all love.
Lifestyle blogger.
I have no problem with people who are vegan. If you choose to be vegan, that's fine. I just don't want to hear about it every 2 seconds.
Is she also an entrepreneur?
She probably is. Who produces content under the name Ravana. Or Rawvana, sorry. Rawvana.
She a Harry Potter character?
Yes. So the San Diego resident has more than 1.3 million Instagram followers and 1.9 YouTube subscribers. So she's making, this is her living, right? So she's making
That's
a
impressive.
living.
That is impressive.
Yeah, but she's making a living, right? Doing this.
Yeah, good on her. It's fine.
The 28-year-old has been a vegan for 6 years and has touted a number of different lifestyle, diet, and health tips to her followers. So she's pushing lifestyle and health, diets onto her followers who are following her for this. And she's saying, look at me, this is, how I am. The blogger also claims veganism helped her overcome alcoholism and nicotine addiction.
We drink because of articles like this.
Yes. She also claims she's undertaken a 25-day water fast.
I just want to say,
Which is insane.
We are being a bit cheeky, but we're not. I mean, good on her. That's great. That's great that she's overcome those addictions.
Yes, it wasn't veganism, but yes. But she's come under fire for appearing to eat fish at a restaurant. A video on Vegan Bean's YouTube channel shows Ms. Aries eating at a restaurant. Rawvana apologizes, explaining change of diet. The channel claims Ms. Aries, who smiles and looks down at her plate, was eating fish in the video as they called her a fake vegan. In a YouTube video responding to the claims, the blogger says of her followers, or says many of her followers probably feel deceived or lied to. Yeah. No shit. You've been telling them that I'm so healthy and look at me and this is because this is what I eat, and then it's discovered that actually you're not eating like that. And you're right to feel like that. Yeah, you are. And for that I ask forgiveness, she says. For what? For being caught. I made a mistake. Yes, I accidentally had this fish on my plate. Didn't realize it was fish. Ate the fish. She wasn't planning on hiding her decision from anyone, and is coming to terms with her.
And yet
now that she's been caught, and is coming to terms with changing her diet due to health reasons. She also claims after water fasting, she didn't have a period for 2 years. The blogger says,
okay, hold on. Can we just rewind a little bit there? What is water fasting?
Well, you just go into water for 25 days. Don't do anything else but drink water, right? Which is, of course, incredibly healthy for you.
That's dangerous to be promoting that to people who are impressionable.
Absolutely.
And she didn't think after maybe the first year of not having a period that maybe it was a bad thing?
The blogger says that after undergoing blood and urine tests in 2016, all her hormones were out of whack.
Oh, wow,
so
really?
She hasn't said this to any of her followers.
No.
She said this now that this has come out, right? To justify her eating fish. So justify her living a lifestyle that she wasn't promoting on her blog to other people, being like, to her 1.9 million subscribers, being like, this is how you should eat because this is how I stay so healthy and everything else like that. They were premenopausal, she says, at 28 years old. The doctors were like, you need to eat more fat. I added salt into my diet because I needed minerals. Yeah. She says she began to eat cooked foods within 2 months and had her period again, but was very irregular. Her health issues continued over 2017, and she became borderline anemic and suffered small intestinal bacterial overgrowth along with digestive issues.
Oh my God.
After considering options from doctors who recommended fish and eggs to gain weight, she incorporated them into her diet about 2 months ago. I decided to put my health first, she says.
Just not
tell all her
not,
followers.
Not the health of your followers who look up to you as a role model.
It was difficult for me to eat that because I felt a lot of guilt and shame. I get that.
Yeah,
I
fair
get
enough.
that. But however, you're still pushing a diet onto your followers that you know is unhealthy. And so there's just a whole heap of stuff in here going on about, people's various responses to that. And we won't go through people's various responses because people's various responses were either really horrific or whatever. Now, I will share with you, I had an eating problem whenever I was in my early 20s. And I still do. To the point that my body doesn't particularly tell me whenever I'm hungry. It's a side effect of things that I went through in my early 20s. And I have to be really careful about what I eat. And I'm quite obsessive about my body image. I'm quite obsessive about, I still look in the mirror and see a fat person. And so I understand what it's like to be obsessive with food, or unhealthily obsessive with food, and that sort of thing. I think this is so dangerous. And she's a good-looking 28-year-old woman, who's living this happy, fit, active lifestyle, who's promoting this diet that is patently unhealthy and has caused her huge health issues and has been changing that diet for a number of years without telling people, while still pushing this, what she sees in her head as being an ideal diet, to people. And let's face it, people who, I can imagine that a chunk of that, I'm not saying all 1.9 million subscribers to it, but a big chunk of those people will be people with food issues.
Yeah.
People with those kind of...
And hanging off everything she says. And treating it like...
gospel.
Gospel,
look at her. She's healthy and fit and active, and that's what I should be.
You have a responsibility. Look, if you're going to claim to be a lifestyle coach or whatever that means. Sorry, I'm really cynical about stuff like that, and I think a big part of that is because, of course, recently, with Jamila has been really great at exposing this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And she calls out people like the Kim Kardashians of the world and things, and talks about, and this is something that producer Caroline was talking about recently, where these people will promote things. So it's very common for these inspirational bloggers or lifestyle coaches and things to promote, who have phenomenal figures, to promote products, and usually it's disclosed, but it sort of maliciously implies that these products help you achieve the look that they have, and not also the fact that they have personal chefs, personal trainers, lifestyle coaches as well, copious amounts of Photoshop. And it's malicious because it's targeting those who are the most, as you say, the most vulnerable about their bodies, about their image. And that's the reality of social media in 2019. And it's not okay. And so next time you think of making fun of someone who's in their teenage years, who are most susceptible to this kind of advertising and this sort of malicious way of inserting its way into their lives, maybe think about that, because that is not something that most of us grew up with.
No.
We didn't grow up with advertising so deeply entrenched in our everyday lives to that degree.
No.
And what she is doing, I can't remember her name, sorry.
Rawvana is the name
Rawvana.
of her channel.
That's it's borderline criminally negligent. I think it's
fraud.
It's fraud.
You're claiming to be something that you aren't, and you're pushing things out. You're
pushing
people that
for the sake of a brand
is unhealthy.
For the sake of a brand, and for the sake of, whereas if she'd come out and just been honest about it. Because the thing is, just because that's happening to her, it might be, it's very specific to her body. She could even have gone about it on the angle that, look, this works for some people, it doesn't work for everyone. It's not working for me, so I have to change my diet. That's healthy living. That's a part of living, and everyone's different, and that's fine. The fact that she, of course, didn't apologize till she was caught. Not good enough. That isn't good enough, and she deserves to be held accountable for that. It's not okay.
Again, I know it's a little bit heavier than man shoots off his penis, whatever, for Uncanny Valley, but I think it's important. It is a bizarre thing, and we were talking a little bit about this before, with lifestyle coaches and things. This seems now to be a legitimate career, like a career where you can go and you can be like, I market myself online as somebody who eats this diet, and you're all gonna follow me and watch me blog about my food and eat my food and do, or I'm a person, like in the case of, a lot, it'll come back to the Kardashians. I'm a person who's famous
Simply
being
for
famous.
being famous. Yeah.
Like, I don't really. I mean, I know this sounds like a horrific thing to say, but I don't really contribute anything to the planet. Like, I'm not a celebrity in any kind of tangible way. Like, I'm not a celebrity in, like, I'm a musician or I'm an actor.
You're implying that celebrity status automatically has some sort of contribution to the planet, though.
Well, no, but generally, if you're famous for a reason. Like,
Oh,
you're like,
true.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm a musician and I've reached the height of, I mean, whatever my music is, whether you like it or not, like, that's what I do. Or I'm an actor and I've done this, or I'm a writer, or I'm a playwright. Like, you've done something that people kind of go, Jesus, they're like, the top of their field. They're really good at what they do, or like, whatever. It just seems to be all of a sudden now there's a way of becoming famous, like essentially through things like, and I mean, I know this sounds really strange with us doing a podcast here on places like YouTube and everything else like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, our aim was never to become famous. Our aim was just like, we enjoy doing this, and so we'll do it. But like, you can become famous for not really doing anything.
Yeah.
As long as you can market yourself in a desirable way, you can get, thousands, millions of followers, and just kind of be like,
I think the
this is
difference.
me.
I think the difference is James, Caroline, and myself have never been under any illusion about what we're about.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've never, and we've repeated this many times over the course of the podcast, that we've never claimed to be an authority on a subject. So I mean, we've never said, take our words as gospel. Or the difference with these people are that they are leading the charge of, look, this is how you should eat. This is how you should take care of your body. So they are claiming to be an authority on how you should look after yourself. And of course, people trust them. Yeah. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because they're so well marketed.
Yeah, and whenever...
and look at them, look at their body. They must be doing something right.
And whenever it comes out as being a fraud, of course people feel hurt by that.
Of course they do, yeah.
And go,
they have every right
I trusted you.
Yeah.
You were telling me that this is, especially whenever it comes to something like your body.
Yeah.
And, going, I trusted you. You told me that this was going to make me healthy, to 100%. Make me, to make me well. And I really struggle with people who fraudulently do those kinds of things.
Special kind of malicious.
I think it's a special
so
kind
malicious.
of sick.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a special kind of sick to really exploit vulnerable people.
Yeah,
I really
100%.
do. I think it takes a special
exploiting
kind of,
the deepest insecurities of people everywhere.
And so for her, like, I'm like, I have no problem with her changing her diet to make herself healthy, and I think good on you.
I mean, she has to.
That's exactly what you should be doing, and you should be doing the things that the doctors are telling you to do, and that sort of stuff. Where I have the problem is the disjunct between that and being honest with the people that she's saying, no, this is the healthy diet, this is the way to go. That's 100%. Where I have the problem. I don't have a problem with her changing her diet. Look, quite honestly, I couldn't give a shite whether she's vegan or not. Like,
it doesn't affect
if you
us.
choose to be vegan, you choose to be vegan. I'm nominally vegetarian. Like, but I don't feel the need to be like. No, this is what it is, and you all have to subscribe to my way of feeling good, or whatever. People
just don't exploit susceptible people.
No. Anyway, that was a fun uncanny valley. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So please, as Anthony said before, I think it is very important to reiterate again: we do not claim to be an authority on anything. We do not claim. Actually, the point of us having this podcast and where we actually wanted to go with this podcast. And with all the content we create, with the streams, with other content that hopefully will be coming soon, all of that sort of stuff, all we want is a community who like to talk about stuff. and are interested in stuff and want to have those conversations and want to talk about life and talk about all of that kind of stuff. And, at this point, I'd just like to say I'm loving our little Discord community, the little Esoterica Discord community. What an awesome group of people you all are on there. And, an awesome group of people we have together on our Twitch streams and everything else like that. And if you haven't joined us for our Twitch streams, you really should come and join us on Twitch. We have a lot of fun. And there's a lot of banter. And,
and while we're on this note, just before we start our next segment of 30 Second Waffle, I'm going to do a quick shout out to Ted Starr, who set up a Minecraft server especially for
this is the
Esoterica. So and I know a few other people from the Discord have helped test it with him and stuff, which is really cool. So thank you very much for that, Ted Starr, and we're looking forward to the grand opening of that, which is going to happen next Saturday, or this coming Saturday by the time
I actually have to say I've been blown away. Like I know we sort of take the piss out of this a little bit, but like I've actually been blown away by how passionate our little community and stuff like that are on there, and how much time they invest in Esoterica, and how much time they invest in things around that, and in the streams and creating content. Some of the stuff on Discord is hilarious. But creating content and doing all of that sort of stuff, just because they obviously feel passionately enough about what we're doing here and being part of that community. So that's awesome. If you're not part of our community, come and join. It's a cool wee space. It's a really creative space. It's a really funny space. It's a really egalitarian space, I think. There's a huge range of ages, range of backgrounds, all of that sort of stuff on there, and I'm actually really enjoying being part of it. We all are. We're all, Awesome. Okay. Cool. So, 30-second waffle.
30-second waffle.
It's been a very long time since we've done this, and my brain is full of painkillers, so this is going to be interesting. Who went first last time? Was it you or me went first last time? I can't remember. All right. Well, how about you go first,
Okay.
Just cause.
Well, okay.
Just because why not?
That's okay.
Okay. Again, thank you for those of you on Discord. If you join us on Discord, you can submit questions for the 30-second waffle. So if you're interested in doing that,
thank you yet.
Yeah, it might be horrific.
Yeah. Let's look here. Okay, so this question is from Discord from Sim Breezy. That's our friend Simeon.
Oh, Sim, he's
so
getting
this
a
will
few
be
in.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Okay. This is very good. Who wins in a fight with no weapons? Fiddler on the Roof cast, Sweeney Todd cast, or Jesus Christ Superstar cast?
Oh. Be interested to hear your answer. I know where I'd go.
It depends, because the trouble with this is that Jesus Christ Superstar is set over it can be set over any time period, and it's up for interpretation. I would argue the Sweeney Todd cast simply because they are probably the most desperate cast of them all. They lived in a time in Victorian London when times were very rough and food was very low. However, Fiddler on the Roof cast would win because of the heart they put into it. They'd probably win if it was a battle of heart. But I feel like Sweeney Todd cast. It's a very hard question.
It is a very hard question.
I don't have time to think about that.
Actually, funnily enough, I probably would have gone the same way. I'd have been Sweeney Todd cast, I reckon. And the reason I reckon Sweeney Todd cast would win is because, okay, you can... It would come down to me. I reckon the ones that get their butt handed to them would be the JC cast.
Right? I agree.
It would definitely be between Fiddler and Sweeney Todd. Fiddler because they're all hardy Russian peasants.
Yes,
Yeah. However, in the Fiddler cast... most of them are really old.
Yeah.
Whereas, in the Sweeney Todd cast, they're all desperate, criminals and, that sort of stuff from Victorian London Underground. So, I'm with you. I'd probably go.
I think JC would
Judas Shenanigans.
JC, though, they're just followers. They're not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I reckon Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. So... good question.
Right. That was a good question.
Very difficult to think about, and
an interesting three shows to pick as your three shows to go head to head.
I'm a fan of all.
Confrontation.
It's interesting because I'm a huge fan of all three of those shows.
This is a Discord question from Oh, muffins?
Oh, yep.
Oh, muffins. Okay. 2 triple cheeseburgers covered in tomato sauce should be the national New Zealand dish. Okay.
You have to justify it.
Oh, I can justify this. This is easy.
Oh, is it a 2 or a 1? 2.
2 triple cheeseburgers covered in tomato sauce should be the national New Zealand dish. Hands down, you can do whatever you like. I'm not a New Zealander, so go nuts. Whatever you want to have as your national dish, go hard. Like, it really doesn't bother me, nor does it have anything to do with me. So, cool. You'll all die young of, I don't know. Cholesterol poisoning and taste bud explosion.
All right, well, you heard it here first. James isn't a New Zealand citizen.
I'm not.
Deport him immediately.
I'm a permanent resident, so I'm not a New Zealand citizen. So whatever you like to do as your national dish, go nuts. That's the easiest justification ever.
That was such a cop-out. That was such a cop-out.
You can do whatever you like as your national dish. Okay, right.
Okay.
Upstage hand.
Correct, Mondo.
What have we got? Who?
I've got another one from Sim.
Oh, Sim! Sim's on fire.
Another one from Sim Breezy.
Where did it go?
Why Chad Kruger is actually Tom York in disguise.
Oh, this should be good.
Chad Kruger is Tom York in disguise because of the hair. Have you seen the hair? The hair, it's Tom York's hair. I actually think that Chad Kruger is Tom York doing what he actually wants to do. He doesn't care about the avant-garde bullshit that he puts out on normal Radiohead albums. He's actually more into the... he just wants to rock out. He just wants to do stadium rock, and the only way he can safely do that free from criticism or from personal criticism is to pretend to be someone else. And so he manifests Chad Kruger, and it's also because he likes Avril Lavigne.
There's your quote of the day. That avant-garde bullshit that Radiohead normally does.
I threw up in my mouth. Yeah. It's not even avant-garde.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
All right, give us one. That isn't about tomato sauce.
Yeah, tomato sauce is going to be James's minions.
It's going to be my
me,
minions. Yeah. We all know I hate tomato sauce. Right, okay. Here we go. Ooh, this must be an ant one.
Oh, it must be.
This must be an ant one. Justify why the Earth is actually flat.
Got him.
How am I going to go about this? The Earth is actually flat because, have you seen it? If I walk outside the door right now, I can categorically tell you that the Earth is flat. In fact, the fence line I can see right here is straight over there. If I add a plumb line to anything, it pulls straight. If the world wasn't flat, then why are all the tops of my fences and things like that not curved? They're not. They're categorically straight. So is this building. The roof of this building is straight. Look at the wall behind me. It's straight. Straight. I tell you, flat Earth. Fuck me. I couldn't come up with anything. I was just like,
Stunning.
Just
fantastic.
I feel ill.
Was that all three?
I feel ill.
Man, we steamrolled through those.
I feel ill. Making me justify rubbish like that. Anyway, before we sign off, I know that we suddenly realised that the last time that we talked to you, Anthony was about to do a triathlon. In fact, you're wearing the T-shirt from your triathlon.
Well, one part of the triathlon. Let's not get carried away here.
How'd you go? You obviously didn't die because you're here.
No, I actually did surprisingly well.
Yes?
Yeah, I did surprisingly well. So I did the kayak in 11 minutes, which sounds like it's really quick and short. But
11 minutes? That sounds real quick.
Well, it's 1.7k.
Far out.
Kayak.
Okay,
yeah, so basically it's surprisingly difficult to kayak that far hard without stopping, which was my only goal. My only goal was to just go hard, keep a good pace, and not stop, which I managed to achieve. And our team came 11th overall.
Cool.
In our so I was really happy with that. Really, because I mean I'm not, I've done very minimal. I used to kayak all the time, but I've done very minimal sort of training for it. It's a pain in the ass, lugging a kayak over to, only to get sick from. So I didn't get sick from Pandora Pond, which was good.
Oh, that's good. You
Didn't
survived.
get killed from it. Yeah. And the best thing about it was I was the first thing. So I got it over and done with. Yeah, it was at 9 o'clock.
So you didn't have to wait and
No, so I did it. So 9 o'clock, and then it was over in 11 minutes, and then had the rest of the morning to just sort of chill out and have a few beers and
I'd be like, I've done a
sausage
triathlon.
as well. Yeah, I've done triathlon, which really didn't. Yeah, but it was great. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend anyone who's in Hawke's Bay to do the Tremaines Triathlon next year, because it is great. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's great. You feel a sense of accomplishment, and
Good man.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so on that note, we're going to love you and leave you. Remember, please come and join our awesome community on Discord and catch our streams, which currently at this point are happening on Saturdays at 2:30. Saturdays at 2:30, and on Wednesday nights at 7:30. Are they 7:30 these days?
Yes.
7:30. So Alien Isolation coming up on Wednesday.
Yes.
So come along and join us. We'd love to see you. Subscribe on Twitch so we can get ourselves affiliated. We're nearly there. We're nearly at our goal. And we'd love to see you, and we'd love to interact with you. So check the link below if you're on YouTube for all of our social media, where you can come and hang out and chat with the three of us. And we shall see you. Well, I won't see you on Wednesday. You will see them on Wednesday, won't you, Anthony? 'Cause
Yes.
You're streaming on Wednesday because I'm doing a show. But hopefully, after this week, we'll be back together again
for the first time. Yeah.
All the time together again for the first time.
Good jam.
Right. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
See you.
Catch you later.
See you.